What is up, Gundam Meisters and Innovators? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are diving back into the geopolitical chaos that is Gundam 00. Last time, the Gundam, with the help of the Riser, formed together to achieve Aeolia's vision for the twin drive system. This allowed everyone close to the mobile suit to read people's minds via quantum brainwaves. This episode, Saji will cry a lot. The Catherine Space Fleet takes on the Momento Mori, and the Ptolemaeus comes to help out. So let's get into this. There's a giant crater where the Seal Kingdom once was. Sergei is completely fine. Catherine's man on the inside was killed during this attack. Momento Mori is the ultimate weapon for handling anti-Federation forces. Everyone who experienced a sudden sensation returns to normal. The 00 with the Riser has reached the theoretical limit. While this is happening, we learn through Sumeragi that Lassie has what is most likely particle poisoning, which will eventually kill him. Lassie still decides to stay with Celestial Being knowing this. Tieria finally informs the rest of the team about the Innovators and is meeting with them. They decide to help attack Momento Mori. Meanwhile, Catherine is prepping an attack in space. They have 23 cruisers and 43 mobile suits. Celestial Being now knows that the Innovators are the ones who are responsible for the UN getting the GN drives and the creation of the A-Laws. Tieria is concerned that the Ptolemaeus crew may be straying from the path of Veda. But Sumeragi says that people who use weapons like Momento Mori aren't trying to save the world from war. Nina hates that they are working with the Innovators and Ali and starts to turn on Wang. Revive and Bring plan on drawing out Celestial Being. Barack looks at a picture of his family who recently died at the hands of Catherine. Oh, this dude's gonna die. Saji and Anu will be staying on board. The Vashti family say their goodbyes. Their hidden base is suddenly attacked. The Gundams launch. The base goes up in flames as the Ptolemy leaves. Seraphi fires but brings stability, deflects the attack. Revive uses the GN Mega Launcher and fires on the Ptolemaeus. It hits the hangar, injuring Ian. Saji finds him and tells him to pilot the Riser. They need the Riser and 00 to survive this. He launches and docks with 00, creating the 00 Riser. The GN Quadruple O plus GNR 010 00 Riser is the combination of 00 and Riser, and it solves the problem of the twin drive system overloading when going into Trans Am mode. The performance of 00 Riser exceeds all previous Gundams and was beyond expectations. Thus, the word Gundam was removed from its name as it's considered to have transcended the Gundam category. It goes beyond its expectations and can essentially teleport via quantization. Bro science! It also allows communication through quantum brainwaves. Red Hotto can dock with the Riser. This form does not provide it with any new weapons. Once attached, the speed of 00 increases insanely. The A-Laws are unable to keep up. Setsuna swings around an asteroid and kills Barack. Yep, there he goes. The quantum brainwaves engulf the entire battlefield. Saji and Setsuna have a naked poop session together. The quantum brainwaves allow Saji and Luis to communicate psychically to one another. She wonders why Saji is working with Celestial Being. 00 Riser in Trans Am mode continues fighting against Bring stability. 00's Vulcans take out the cameras on the Garazzo. He brings up auxiliary cameras to see Setsuna right in front of him. Surprise, it's a Gundam! He takes out the unit, but not before Bring ejects. Tieria doesn't want to risk using the Trans Am system. Patrick surrounds Lock-On, but is saved by Tieria. Setsuna hears a voice in his head. It is Revive and the Gadessa. Hiding behind an asteroid, he takes aim with his mega launcher. 00 is able to dodge the attack. He goes in, but Bring stabs Setsuna with the beam saber. However, it was a mirage of 00 created with the help of the GN particles and great speeds that exceeds Aeolia's theoretical limits. Ribbons refers to this as quantization. From behind the Gadessa comes the real 00. He uses his GM beam sword to tear through the unit. Bring ejects and whines, stating that he, as an innovator, should be better. The Trans Am system is up. Setsuna doesn't really understand what just happened there. Saji ejects the Riser from 00. He wants to chase after Luis. Ribbons didn't realize that they had this kind of power. Wang asks what is wrong, and he gives her a slap. Not quite a bright slap. I call it the Crux Dogati. The A-Laws begin to fall back. Melina goes to help fix the Gundams. Saji is trying to use the Riser, but it ain't going anywhere. Oh, how embarrassing. Luis thinks that Saji is responsible for the death of her parents. The Vashtis made it out alive, but Ian is greatly injured. Setsuna tries to cheer up the crybaby by telling him to fight for Luis, but he slaps him out of anger. Not quite a bright slap. More of a my girlfriend left me kind of a slap. However, Setsuna fell like a brick. That wasn't that hard of a slap. Lock-On overhears the conversation. He tells Setsuna that he sucks at talking to people and should have said something like, I will fight and you do all the talking. Yeah, he isn't wrong. You just told him to fight. That's so vague. Saji has another cry session by himself. On the A-Law ship, Luis is sad about losing comrade Barack. Oh no, not Barack. Bush. Was this your doing? Barack was posthumously promoted to lieutenant colonel. Andre comes in and tries to fillet her arm, but she isn't having any of that. Revive is complaining to Bring when they get a message from Ribbons via quantum brainwaves to take down the Gundam. Revive thinks that not even Ribbons knows of the twin drive system. Meanwhile, the Rikira? It doesn't really matter. This kingdom is completely wiped out by Momento Mori. Catherine notes that they are wiping out Middle Eastern armies and militias. There was also a giant refugee camp in the area. Marina overhears this, knowing some of the children were from Rikaria. Sergei saw Momento Mori in action, and the A-Laws put a gag order on him. He can't speak of this incident to anyone. They're waiting for a response from Wang when they learn of the attack on that city that I'm not going to pronounce. With Red Hato, Saji tries to make an escape and find Luis. Mari notices Saji acting sketchy. Saji tries to leave in the riser, but he instead decides to have himself a little cry. The Ptolemaeus activates its Trans-Am system and heads towards the Catherine Space Forces. Catherine prepares for a battle in space. They move in to take down Momento Mori, but it is activated and it points directly at half of the Catherine fleet. The superweapon fires, taking out one half of the fleet. Celestial Being watches from afar. Hilling begins firing on the remaining Catherine squad. 4 Catherine ships go down. They have no choice but to begin their missile barrage. They fire, but they are able to shield themselves from the attack. Catherine launches their mobile suits, but they don't seem to have a chance. The flagship is almost shot down, but is saved by 00. Setsuna tells Catherine to pull back. Hilling fires at 00. He notes it is the same unit as before. The two engage in battle. Nina was listening into Wang's conversation and doesn't want her to get her way. She decides to send data regarding Momento Mori to the Ptolemaeus team. The data sent over shows that there is a structural weakness in Momento Mori. They think it was Wang who sent over the data. The Ptolemaeus moves in closer to the battlefield. Setsuna tricks Hilling into following him. The two fight, but this leaves Momento Mori open. The Ptolemaeus moves in. A-Law's commander Lint sends out a fleet to take care of them. The A-Laws are unable to penetrate their GN field. Momento Mori is fully charged once again. The Ptolemy is in the line of sight of the mega weapon. They have to be in this range in order to hit the weak spot. They fire Momento Mori, but it doesn't stop Ptolemy. It's a strong GN field. Arios is powering the Trans-Am system on the ship. They continue pushing forward. Lock-on activates the Trans-Am. He begins sniping units as they push through. Are they doing a Star Wars trench run? I think they're doing a Star Wars trench run. Hilling tries to fire at the Ptolemaeus, but Setsuna distracts her. Lock-on is also using the shield bits to protect the Ptolemaeus. It moves in closer. They are in shooting distance. Tieria activates the Trans-Am on Servi and fires its chunky cannon. They miss, but that was a distraction. Lock-on takes aim and fires, getting a direct hit on the weak spot. The Momento Mori falls to pieces and conveniently falls onto Lynch's ship, killing him. Katie's probably feeling a sense of relief at this moment. The mission is complete. Setsuna is called back, but Hilling tries to stop him. Someone distracts Hilling, giving Setsuna the chance to immobilize the Gedessa. Setsuna notes that the person who helped him has a GN Tau drive. It was Nina. Back on Earth, the children are excited by shooting stars. But Klaus says, "This is war!" Yeah, get those future child soldiers riled up. Gotta start early. Elsewhere, Sergei meets with Colonel Pang Hercury. Like Mercury, but with an H? Sure, why not? A Gedessa, a Garazzo, and one mysterious mobile armor makes its way towards the Ptolemaeus. It is the Empress. The GNMA Y0001 Empress is a mobile armor that is a prototype used to collect data for the combat-ready variant, the Regnet, which will be piloted by Luis. It was developed off of the Salvatore seen in Season 1. It has the same cockpit as the Gedessa and is very mobile despite its size. Its main weapons are the Egner whips, which are designed to penetrate the GN field and can electrocute a unit. Other weapons include a large beam cannon, a GN particle cannon, a claw arm, and an anti-ship GN sword. It also has a GN field. Homer is informed that Momento Mori has fallen. Setsuna catches up with the Ptolemaeus only to find scraps everywhere. Nina contacts him and informs him that his ship dropped down to Earth. Pang Hercury informs Sergei that people within the Federation are trying to start a coup against the A-Laws, and that he is their ringleader. It seems he wants Sergei to join. Ian Vashti wakes up from the medbay. He wakes up to gravity. He realizes he is on Earth. They catch Ian up on things. It seems they used a smokescreen to get away from the mobile armor, but most of the sensors are destroyed along with navigation. Setsuna passes over a crater caused by Momento Mori. That is when Ali passes by in the Arch Gundam. Ali wanted him to chase him, and he took the bait. Catherine learns of a faction trying to do a coup within ESF. Klaus decides to go meet with them. Setsuna chases Ali all the way back to Krugus. The two get out of their mobile suits and talk. He brought Ribbons, who wants to talk to the Gundam and the other Gundam. He calls him by his real name, Soren. Ribbon says that they met for the first time 11 years ago. He was the one in O Gundam back in the day. He was testing the Gundam and was supposed to kill anyone who laid eyes on it, but Ribbons spared him. He was also the one who recommended Veda to Celestial Being. Setsuna refuses to help, and Ali shoots him, but he only shoots him in the arm, allowing him to escape. Ribbons is like, "You had one job, dude. This dude's a warmonger. What did you expect?" The two get into their mobile suits and begin fighting. Ali is amazed that he could fight with an injury. Meanwhile, the other Gundams launch from the Ptolemaios as two mobile suits approach them. They encounter Revive in the Grazzo and Bring in the Gedessa. Arios and Seravi launch and engage with the two Innovators. Bring takes off Seravi's left arm, but the unit grabs the Innovator and goes into Transam mode. It also transforms. Just like Gundam Virtue's Natalie, so too does Seravi have another form. He transforms into Seraphim. The GN-009 Seraphim Gundam is developed off of data from Natalie. This version is stored in the backpack and turns into mobile suit form once activated. It also has a trial system, but it must be connected to Veda to use it. This unit can last longer than the old trial system. This also has a tiny face when the trial system is activated, like Seravi's face burst mode. Tidia's pilot seat transfers between Seravi and Seraphim. Both arms can transform into GN cannons. Other weapons include a GN Beam Saber, the GN Bazooka 2, and a GN Machine Gun. He fires at point-blank range, killing Bring. Finally, I'm tired of saying his name. Bring is a verb. Setsuna chases Ali when they run into Klaus's shuttle, who is heading to meet with the ESF faction. Ali takes the ship as a prisoner, but Double Riser in Trans Am mode moves in too quickly for him to notice. He gets the upper hand and even has a moment to kill Ali, but he could hear Marina and the children sing back down on Earth. He just takes out Arch Gundam, allowing Ali to escape. In space, Luis meets with Divine Nova. Okay, this name isn't as bad as the others. He is the pilot of the Empress and tells Luis that she too will get one for her own. Back on Earth, Billy gives Tom Cruise a new mobile suit. It is the Masurao. The Jinx UO2X Masurao is designed to be the next generation of mobile suits, replacing the Jinx 3 and the Ahead. As this is Tom Cruise's mobile suit, it is the evolution of his Union flag back in Season 1. It started with the flag, but it was recently developed from the Ahead Sakigake. Its main weapons are the GN Beam Sabers, which Bushido calls Howard Mason and Daryl Dodge after his fallen comrades. It has the ability to recognize and react to certain flight patterns. Other weapons include the Beam Chakram built into the head, and GN Vulcans. It also has a GN field and a Trans Am system, though Tom Cruise takes a heavy burden from using it. Up in space, Divine is angry over Bring's death. Hilling wants to give him a handy to calm him down, but he is consumed with hate. That's a free handy. 00 lands at Catherine Base in the Middle East. He gets out of the Gundam and instantly passes out from blood loss. Good timing. Oh no, the machines are now using machines. Everyone is helping with the repairs on the Ptolemy. They wonder where Setsuna is. They head to the rendezvous point, which happens to be a different Catherine base. Hercule wants Sergei to join his coup d'etat, knowing that his old friend won't go against the military. He references this as a reason why his wife Holly is dead, but Sergei stops him from bringing up old memories. Before leaving, he reminds Sergei that the military is designed to protect the people. Klaus and Shiden meet with a contact working with Hercule. They inform them that they have a contact with Celestial Being. Shiden wonders if this is wise. The Alas and with them the Innovators are planning their next mission. Setsuna is having a nightmare about killing his parents once again when he is awoken by Marina and the children. He tells her he could hear their song from space. Setsuna is informed that the Ptolemy has picked up supplies from the other base. However, the ship gets a red alert. The Alas are on their way. Patrick Colasar wasn't allowed to pilot a mobile suit and instead pilots Katie Madigan's shuttle. She needs his dumb luck to rub off on her. Also, the shuttles look like little drone ships. Lock on snipes while Arius and Seravi get in close. They engage with the Innovators. The Empress uses the Egner whip on both Arius and Seravi. The GN Archer is the only other weapon on board the Ptolemy. Madi/Soma wants to pilot it. Even though he's injured, Setsuna has to go help his friends. He says to Marina next time they meet, he wants to hear her sing with the children. He takes off. Katie gets an encoded message from HQ. The ALOS suddenly retreat. Celestial Being doesn't know what is happening, but Katie is informed that a coup is currently taking place at the orbital elevator. They are targeting the African tower. Setsuna is informed of this before the Ptolemaeus crew understands what is going on. As he approaches, he is met with Tom Cruise. The Masadao activates its own Trans-Am system. And that will do it for this episode. The data left by their old professor allowed Billy to create something for Tom Cruise on the level of Celestial Being. Next time, Hercule will try to inform the world of the ALOS corruption. Healing Care is ordered to remain on standby and can't act. And little do they know there happens to be a second weapon of mass destruction. And that will do it for now, Gundam Meisters. Remember to not chase down your enemy. It usually is a trap. Peace.